New York today is known as the home of a variety of cultures, ethnicities, languages, and people. But how are people's identities shaped in such a diverse, overlapping web of communities? Is it a tale of a melting pot or a salad bowl? Does the pull of an all-encompassing national togetherness outweigh that of personal migrant heritage? Is there perhaps a shifting narrative of what being an American entails? We went to try and answer these questions with a larger question in mind. How do Americans form their intersecting cultural identities, and what ties them to certain communities?
To find more opinions on the matter of a broader American identity, we went to the Columbus Day Parade, a parade celebrating Christopher Columbus coming to America and Italian culture, to ask people how they felt about the celebration and what values they felt were being represented.
There's a kind of way of thinking that the arrival of Europeans was something that went wrong and bad for the native and everything, and I think it's not. I think it's irrelevant. It's just history, and it's beautiful that people from everywhere and everybody can celebrate together because we are all human.
It's a way for them to celebrate and to enjoy their heritage.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just fascinated with the whole spectacle.
Yeah.
And find it really kind of neat that people would get together and have a parade like this for a culture like the Italians.
Yeah.
And I hope that we can, as Americans, celebrate everybody's heritage, not just white people's.
We also visited Harlem, where we met a representative of the Olive School in Mecca, who invited us in to explain what the school was working towards and what values it seeks to spread in the community. We also got to ask him what thoughts he had on identifying as an American, and got insight into how there is differences in how each one sees their own nationality.
Well, to be American is I mean, each individual have to answer that question on his
right.
own.
So that's why I'm asking you.
See, I'm here. I don't identify as being American, but I was born in America. Like I said, I was born in America. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't consider myself an American because I understand the significance behind what is known as an American.
Right.
You see, but a lot of people don't understand that because they're ignorant to the fact. So if you don't do your history, if you don't study your lessons, then you lose your blessing.
As we entered Chinatown, it was striking to see the sudden change in scenery. It was like almost entering a different country. We went into a local park filled with tents, with elder Asian people joined closely together around different Chinese games, whom to our surprise spoke no English at all. But we also got to talk to some younger Asian Americans, one of whom told us about one of the art pieces that were made to stand against the many hate crimes and discriminations that the Asian American community had been victims of during the pandemic.
What was the initial project to be like Easter flowers, it transformed into, because of what was going on in the community and in our neighborhood with the Asian American Pacific Islanders, there was a lot of violence against Asian Americans that was happening last year. There were marches, even in this park, the Asian American community just speaking out against this violence and asking for more support and more help.
Throughout our interviews with different people in America, we've come to understand that the different cultures inevitably are going to meet. We see it at the Columbus Day Parade, where the celebration of an American festivity can also make way for both inclusivity for minorities and ignorance of minorities. We see it in Harlem, where the representative felt so alienated by the values of his own country that he wouldn't even identify as American and sought a sense of community and acceptance elsewhere. And we see it in Chinatown, where Tina explains how the intersectionality of her upbringing in America has played a major role in forming her identity and self-understanding. How do Americans form their intersecting cultural identities, and what ties them to certain communities? It becomes clear that there isn't one true answer. Everybody has a different relation to their national identity, and how they view it varies. So now we ask, is it problematic that individuals seek out smaller communities that reflect their identity, or is it rather detrimental to diversity to assimilate under a large common national identity?